Your project plan can make or break your project. It really is that important. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can make a project plan in Excel, which is super easy that everyone can follow. Now, if you want to even be more of a master of projects, stay tuned to the end of this video because I have something for you. It is my 6 basics that all projects must have, and I'm going to share with you how to get your hands on that at the end of this video. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Adriana Girdler, and you have landed on the best practical project management channel in YouTube world. Now, that all being said, I am so excited to be sharing with you how to make an action plan from Excel. So if you want to get on that bandwagon with me, let's go to it. All right, now that we have this blank Excel sheet here, what do? There's a couple of basics that I like to start off with. So I'm going to start off with section A, and don't worry about formatting yet. We're going to start off with action item, and my spelling always is terrible, so my apology. I'm going to hit the tab key. We're now going to go for a start date. And again, don't worry about formatting. We're going to do an end date. I always go for a duration, and this is going to actually be from a scheduling perspective when we do Gantt charts in another video, actually. We're going to talk about progress percentage here. There are individuals who really like to have this, so I do add it on. You don't have to. Very important, we're going to talk about responsibility, who owns these tasks, and last but not least, one of my favorites, comments. Something that is why I continually use Excel, because of this one thing. I have the ability to put a whole bunch of comments. So let me now go and make these wider. You see what I did there? Little trick. If you go to the corner and you highlight everything, it will move it all. And if you don't want to do that, because let's say you only want the one to be big, unclick that, unclick it, and just go over to the line of that column and you can make that big. Because you want to make sure you have enough space for your action items. Start and end date, I'm good there. Let me just move that over. Duration, progress, responsibility, comments is another one I like to make really big. And so there we go. We now have the base of our framework. So there's just a few things I'm going to suggest here. So let's just go in here, and I like to do a little bit of lines just to get that organized. And as we do that, I'm going to highlight B and C, and I'm going to go over to font. And based on that, let's bring up with a little corner here. Let's just make sure we have the right date the way we like to have it, because it always drives me nuts when it's never done correctly. Personally, I'm a fan of, let's see if they have the one I like. Yeah, I actually like to spell it out. That's me personally, because I find usually there's some months that are not, that is that a date or is that a month? So that's why I like to spell it out like that. Percentage progress. So here's our opportunity to highlight that. Again, go under font, click on that little arrow there. And now let's go to number, and let's just make sure we have percentage all set up here. Great. Actually, I don't want any decimal places. Oops. So I'm going to scroll down there. There we go. And the rest is good for now. So this is a generic framework that we are looking to actually have with an action plan. It's super, super simple, but there's going to be power behind this, and I'm going to show you it in 1 second. But with the power of video, I'm actually going to fill in some tasks in for you and some dates. So I'll be back. Just give me a second. Now that we have our Excel action plan filled out, let me just kind of explain this a little bit since you're seeing this. And it's really for a brand new project. I'm bringing you back to my engineering days where we were installing new equipment on a packaging line. And so really, here's some high-level stuff of what it is that we have to do for this particular task. And I have the dates in here of when we're going to start, and we have duration, progress, responsibility, and comments. But you'll notice what's next once you fill out what you're going to do, and that's duration. But duration is a formula. So let's now deal with that. So I'm going to put I'm going to highlight the cell. I'm going to do the equal sign, and I'm just basically going to take the end date minus the start date, enter, and that gives me the duration. And what I love about Excel and the power of it is if I highlight that and go to the corner so I see this plus sign, I take that formula and I put it across everything. So now I have this formula. I just created it once and it's duplicated in all the other cells. Progress is something that you put yourself. I give that power to the individuals who have to give me a status update. And at this moment, we don't have anything in comments because this is an opportunity for team members to provide comments on status, roadblocks, things of that nature. But we're not done. This is just the starting of this. We have a few other things that I want to share with you, really the power of using Excel and why I love it as an action plan. So let's clean this up a bit, because one thing I'm not liking is I do like things to be centered a bit. So I'm going to do that here. I highlighted B, C, D, E, as you can tell. And I am now going to go here and go center and center. Just looks prettier in my opinion. I'm also going to go to A and I'm going to wrap text, because there are times when my text does wrap and I want it all to be together. Now, something else that I'm already noticing, which I don't like, is it's a personal opinion. Everything's on the bottom line. I like everything to be on the top. So to make my life easy, again, I'm going to go to that corner. I'm now going to say everything's at the top. It just keeps it nice and tight. I know for these activities, I don't have anything else that's going to be added. So I'm going to go to these lines and I'm going to delete those extra ones because I didn't know at the time when I created it, I needed it. So now this is really clean, precise. Now I'm also, because I'm a little bit of making things pretty, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and I'm going to put that all in the center there, and I'm going to color code it because I really want to distinguish those colors. Now, here's very simple. You could be good like this, but I want to take it one step further for you. Let's go to line 1. Right click and go to insert. And as we insert, we have a brand new line here above our line. I'm going to do a couple more, okay? And another little trick is if you just don't want to go line by line and you have these two here, we're going to highlight them both, right click, insert, and now I've just doubled the amount of lines. So this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. We're going to add two more things here. We're going to add a past due. And we're going to have another one called due soon. And what I really like about this is I'm going to share with you in a moment is the power of letting me know what do I need to focus my attention on, because as someone who's a project manager and a Lean Six Sigma expert, visual management now becomes really critical. So let's talk about that. So in order to do past due, I need today's date. So let's create a formula for today's date. If you do equal sign, so don't forget, put your cursor in the cell that you want it, equal sign, and I'm going to write today, bracket, enter, and that gives me today's date. And now due soon can be any date. I'm going to go September 30th. So this now is letting me know I'm going to be using it for conditional formatting. So let's talk to that. Are you enjoying this so far and learning a lot? If you are, please give this video a like, put some comments below. It tells YouTube we're doing a good job. Now, let's go back to those Excel action plan. So the conditional formatting is really for the end dates. I'm driven by end dates when I do my project plans, is I really want to know where are we from an end date perspective. So I'm going to highlight, again, I only have to focus on one cell to get all my conditioning formatting proper. And there's two rules we're going to focus on. Again, there's multiple rules you can do, as many as you like, depending upon your needs, but let's focus on the two most important ones. So I want to know when something's past due, and I want to visually look at that very quickly. I also want to know if something is going to be due soon, so I can focus my attention on that, knowing that it's coming. So when you click on conditional formatting right here, and you go to highlight cells, and let's do the one that's past due. So the one we do for that is if it's less than, and I'm now going to make sure, less than, and if it's less than September 1st, light fill with dark red, I'm actually okay with that. I'm going to keep that. And then the next one I want to do is the in-between. So I'm now going to go here. If I have in-between, so now if I have something that is in between September 1st and my due soon, I'm going to make that yellow fill with dark yellow text. So now what is this doing exactly? Well, hold on. I'm going to share with you. Let me just kind of put it out there by doing a format painter. And I'm now going to format all of this. So now what I'm going to do is, because of the formula that I put in here and the formula up here, if I ever have anything that's past due, it's going to turn red. So let me just go in here and go, let's say this was August 30th. I know it doesn't match the start date. It would automatically turn red. And that would show me immediately, wow, this is due. I better put some really good comments here. And let me just turn that back, September 30th. Now, let's say I had something here. Let's say this was September 15th. That again would tell me that, oh, these are the items that I'm going to have to start working on soon. It becomes really powerful. So I'm just going to do the back arrow to take away that date. Now here's where the power is. It may be mid-September, let's say September 15th, and I update my project plan every week or every 2 weeks for my team. So I may go, you know what? I want them to now start being aware of things coming down the pike, and I want to make sure that we are always 4 weeks out. And you see what happened when I changed that date there? This October 14th. Also got highlighted. So now we're continuously really getting updated and ensuring that we're on track. And it's just a really great visual tool, something that I love. And so what I do, because I'm a big believer in color coding, is I will do this will always be in the red because we all can relate to that. And this due soon will always be in the yellow. And so we'll do that so that they all know, focus on the red and the yellow. That's how I kind of talk to my team. I want you to focus on the red and the yellow. If anything is red, when I'm always talking about the end date, give me a comment, a suggested new due date, and focus on the yellow are things that are coming soon and to bring your attention to them. So this now is how we basically can run a project using Excel and monitoring our action plan. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is how do you clean this up and actually how do you use it really for a full project? This is a tab of tasks, but let's be honest, if projects were just these amount of tasks, we wouldn't need project managers. Everyone can do their own thing. Usually there are hundreds of tasks depending on the complexity of the project. And that's why I love Excel, because you can actually start using tabs and everyone can have their own tab, every department, person, however you want to set it up. So what I usually do, just so you know, is I usually put the project name. Ooh, I can't spell. Project name. I'll put in here. Let's just call it packaging line install. And this is going to be a department. Let's call this engineering. And I'm a terrible speller, by the way. Now, whatever department I'm going to do, I'm also going to change by going right-click on the tab. I'm going to go rename, and I'm going to call this engineering. So now that I know, when I hop on this, it's engineering. Something else I do, which I find very helpful, is updated on. So a lot of times I will do an update on for myself so that people know when I were in it, or if someone else was in it, we know what the latest version is. So now that this is cleaned up, and again, you can add as much here, you can do more cleaning up. It's really up to you. Again, the critical thing here is you have your duration formula, you have your past due formula, and your conditional formatting here so that you can pop things out. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to copy tab. So this is kind of the last thing, because I'm probably going to have, sometimes I have like 10 departments that are working with me and they all have their own tasks. So I created the one. I'm now going to right click and I'm going to go to move copy, and I'm just going to say create a copy, and it's created number 2. So let me rename that, and I'm going to just say blank. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm now going to, that I have everything set up, I'm going to take away the department name. I'm going to take away the tasks. I'm going to take away my dates. And I'm going to take away all this other stuff. And now what you have is you have your baseline, really your format, your template for your action plan moving forward. So I can do as many of these tabs now that's cleaned up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go create a copy, create another one. one more, just because I have quite a few people. Create a copy. All right, so what I will then do afterwards is I will assign each department, each person, however I've broken up my project, their own tab. They would go in, fill it out. And again, I already have the conditional formatting in there, so it's going to start to color code accordingly based on the dates I have here. This is a really simple, easy, a nice way to monitor your project tasks. And everyone has access to Excel, and it's going to highlight certain things for you. And it's going to be a really powerful tool to keep you organized and on track. All right, now that you know how to create a solid plan, I'm so excited for you. I need you to get this because, again, I want your brilliance to shine through, not just in your plans, but in everything else you do. So check this out. It is free. Link is under this video. Grab it just for you, my gift.